Hey, welcome to a new top list with the 15 real-time strategy games that we think you should give a try. We're going to be doing more top lists like this, so if a game is not here that you expected to be here, let us know in the comments below and we'll add it to the next video. The first game on our list takes us back to the First World War, but it looks quite different from what we know World War I to be like. The game is called Iron Harvest, and this game mixes World War I with giant lethal robots in an RTS game that also plays like a city builder game. This game will probably remind you of games like Company of Heroes or Men of War, but with some pretty impressive graphics and mechanics to boot. It also has a steampunk-style art design that really gives it a nice touch. This game now has currently 2 DLCs that add a lot of content to the game. In fact, playing the full game together with both of the DLCs took me over 50 hours, which I think is no small feat. The RTS game Iron Harvest was released in 2020, and you can find it on PlayStation 5, PC, and Xbox. Our list continues with a game that seems simple but doesn't equate to easy. The game Warpips reminds me of when I played Warfare 1944 as an old online Flash game. Warpips is an RTS with tower defense mechanics and simple warfare strategy. This game is a constant war with numerous units in 2.5D, where the game happens on a 3D stage and with pixelated 3D models, but the game plays like a side-scrolling 2D game. As the person voicing this video, my personal standout pick out of this whole list for a unique and easily enjoyable RTS game is this game. Warpips has been available since 2021 for PC, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, the Xbox One series, and the Nintendo Switch. Our next game, titled Age of Darkness Final Stand, is not likely to leave you feeling indifferent about it, because it was inspired by games like They Are Billions, where you must defend yourself from infernal hordes that will relentlessly try to wipe out every last breath of humanity. This is an RTS with tower defense mechanics and also city builder gameplay mechanics, featuring graphics and gameplay mechanics that easily immerse you into a deep and dark fantasy world. This game's creators belong to the Team 17 group, who are also the creators of games such as Hell Let Loose and The Escapists 2, among many others. Becastled brings us another city builder type game with other game mechanics such as territorial defense, featuring some tower defense mechanics all wrapped in a medieval setting. This game might not win your heart, and it might not win Game of the Century in the genre either, but I really think this is a game you should give a try. Becastled uses many proven gameplay mechanics from games before itself, and then does a good job both executing them while presenting itself in a unique graphic style. This game was released in 2021 for PC. Here comes a pace change that you might have been looking for, because if you're looking for a game with tons of on-screen destruction at a frenetic pace, Taur is the game for you. This game takes you on a ride with a tower defense RTS featuring numerous units and weapons and great customization of your base, of course, all while defending yourself from hordes of enemies that'll gradually become more difficult, making the game a never-ending challenge. The graphics in this game are pretty damn sweet too. This game is very fun in an intense way. Create massive battles in an instant with this epic RTS action game from 2020 for the PC. If you know what a strategy game is, then Age of Empires 2 I think needs no introduction, and that's because it's by far the best Age of Empires game. This is pretty objective too, because it's not just us saying that, it's the 80,000 extremely positive reviews that the game has had on Steam since 2013. And this game is from 1999, by the way. Just wow. For those of you who are not familiar, Age of Empires 2 is a medieval era RTS city builder where you get to use different factions of the time. This game is another PC exclusive from 1999. Warhammer games obviously have to have their place in the top, as there are so many Warhammer strategy games that we will also cover in the future top list videos. However, in this case, I bring the Total War Warhammer saga, which for me was the one that introduced me into the Warhammer world. This game is mostly an RTS and turn-based game. Today, we're showing you part 3 in the series because we think that if you combine it with Game 1, Game 2, and all of their DLCs, it creates an absolutely marvelous and incredibly deep world in the Warhammer universe by linking the maps. It definitely isn't cheap, unfortunately. However, we think if it's something that you're able to enjoy and you like strategy games, then you'll be able to wholly enjoy this game. This one came out for PC in 2022, and to this day, it continues to bring highly recommended DLC content. If you're looking for a very real-time RTS game with a World War II setting, our personal favorite is going to be Hearts of Iron 4. This game boasts over 150,000 positive reviews on Steam and has a lot of content to go with it. No matter how many years go by, this game's graphics just seem to not go out of style. You can lead any country of the time and you can take it to World War II or any other destination that you could think of. This game is made by Paradox Interactive, the very well-known creators of City Skylines, and this game was released for PC in 2016. The next game holds a special place in my heart because I remember going to my friend's house to play it and easily losing track of time. Age of Mythology is another old but gold game, and this game is now playable in a new remastered version. It's an RTS game similar to Age of Empires but set in a mythology setting, released in 2002 for PC. Quick reminder, if you have a game on your mind that didn't make this video yet, to of course let us know in the comments below so we can add it to future top RTS game lists for more videos just like this one. Okay, more games. Next up, another game that doesn't need much of an introduction, especially if you like strategy games, is going to be Company of Heroes. A very well-known series that has also recently released Company of Heroes 3, which seems to be quite good. The first installment of this game stood out as a great real-time strategy game, both as a war game and city builder in the World War II setting. Its historical setting and narrative are simply amazing, and I think that in this sense, Company of Heroes 2 is also a big improvement. I can wholly say I recommend trying the entire series of games. The games are all practically free nowadays, and they initially came out in 2006. A recent city builder RTS that I think you should try is called Farthest Frontier. This game offers a pretty unique city builder experience. The game combines its great management and building of a city with constant harassment from enemies who come to raid your city. Your city eventually grows, of course, and eventually can become a fairly large metropolis. Farthest Frontier was released in 2022 for PC. And now we're going back to Total War again, and it's not going to be a bad one, because there are better or worse Total War games out there. Some that pass without pain or glory, and some that just will not be remembered. But in fact, now we're going to talk about one that's been the best for most of the fans, myself included. Total War Rome 2 is the best for me and many other fans of the entire series. In the game, you can lead one of the great powers of the time and of course defeat your enemies through military means, political power, or economic means also. You get to choose. Total War Rome 2 came out for PC in 2013. Another real-time strategy game that I think is very good and not very well known is a game called Northgard. This is an RTS and city builder set in the world of Vikings and their mythology, where you must follow a story of revenge and defeat enemies ahead of you. The game features some pretty simple graphics, but offers a very deep complexity level that makes this one of the best RTS games. If you want something with deep complexity that can become difficult, this game's for you. Northgard was released for PC in 2018. So earlier, we already mentioned They Are Billions. This is a really good game in most people's opinion. This game is possibly the best city builder tower defense game ever. In my personal opinion, it has an overwhelming difficulty, along with limitless hours to cure boredom and some pretty unique steampunk graphics. I think the mechanics are pretty simple. Little by little, the game tries to drown you in a perfectly measured way that will decide whether your game, which you've been playing for hours now, not just minutes, is a victory or you have to start over because the zombies are wiping you out. This game was released in 2017 for PS4, Xbox One, and also the PC. Hey, it's me, the voice guy again, and I'm super excited because this script is finishing off with a game that us older millennials love, and is honestly one of the most iconic RTS games of all time, up there with StarCraft. Yes, the Command & Conquer series. We're talking about the very first original Command & Conquer game from 1995, which started an influx of ever-evolving RTS games. We'll put Command & Conquer games in other top RTS game videos to come in the future. Another old but gold game with a remastered version that's easily available at bargain prices. Thank you so much for watching. That's it for this top list video. There's a like button on the YouTube page if you enjoyed this video. And if you're not subscribed already, we encourage you to do so. I'll see you at the next video.